considering buying a mobile home? If so, you are not alone. More and more people are deciding to purchase a mobile home for one reason or another. But before you make that leap, it's important to weigh your pros and your cons before living in a mobile home. Hey social media family, it's Kayla here back with another video. If this is your first time stopping past this channel, don't let it be your last. On this channel, we discuss all things related to real estate. So if that is something that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time we have a new upload. If you are not new, welcome back. We're so glad that you have decided to join us once again. Let's get into the video. Now, one may say there is no pros, or one may say there is not any cons to living in a mobile home. While I do agree, I have taken some notes to kind of help us all weigh in on both. We're going to start with the pros first. Number one, it's cheaper than a traditional home. The average price of a mobile home, brand new, roughly, is around $81,000, and a traditional home can cost you, depending on where you live, in the 400,000s. This is a huge difference. That is why individuals are deciding to go the mobile home route over the sticks and brick route. For me, I just want to throw in that both of these are roofs over your heads, it's shelter, and it's a home. What you want your home to look like versus the next, it doesn't really matter. All it depends on is a preference. As long as you have a roof over your head and you pay the cost to be the boss where you live at, that is all that matters. However, saving for a down payment on a stick built house will take the average person a couple of years, depending on what type of career that you have. And if you were putting 20% down, that is the entire cost of the mobile home. Now that is 20% of the 400K that we spoke about for our example. Because of this, mobile home ownership continues to rise in popularity as a cost-effective alternative to stick-built homes, which is very true. However, depending on where you live at, location, maybe the first or second time you heard us say that, location is the gold mine in real estate. And I would like to say that mobile homes is considered under the umbrella of real estate because individuals do live in this structure or unit. So with that being said, traditional homes are very expensive. It doesn't matter if you live in North Carolina, South Carolina, you can find you a treasure, but traditional homes are expensive. Me, myself, our family, we decided to go the land route with manufacturer, mobile home, or modular because of the price of traditional homes. Traditional homes are so expensive, and then for you to have a neighbor right there beside you or a neighbor behind you, peeping toms, no privacy. Oh. Number two, afford many features. To get the ideal home for your traditional home, let's say you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a garage, a nice backyard, we're probably already out of your price budget. Whereas a mobile home, you can get a slightly different model than your dream home with some of the same features such as black backsplashes, trim, tray ceiling, whatever, what have you, with a way lower price tag. So if you have to change up some of your dream home visuals based off what your pockets can afford, then don't feel bad, don't feel sad. Be more realistic about what you're purchasing, and that will allow your pockets to be more pleased with your purchase and your heart. Everything will be just fine. Number three, Low maintenance costs. If something goes wrong in a traditional home, you have to call a contractor, you have to call this man, that man. Whereas if something goes wrong in your mobile home, you can either one, call a handyman. Handymans don't use traditional materials, so therefore the materials are a lot cheaper. That way, that will allow your bill to be a lot cheaper. Or you have the option to fix it yourself. And yes, traditional homes, you can fix it yourself. However, it is a lot more challenging, complex than you fixing something in a mobile home. It's a completely different ball game. And you can really screw some things up in your traditional home just because of how it's built if you get to going in there not know what you're doing. And versus a mobile home, you can really have some trial and error DIY projects with no experience and be just fine. I have seen a couple of different YouTube channels that does DIYs on their mobile home, on their personal mobile home with no experience. And I tell you, they have done some tremendous work, but that is something to keep in mind. Maintenance costs, because you will have upkeep for your home. Nowhere around it. Wear and tear is going to come. Your children, husband, spouse, whatever, whoever, you're going to have a maintenance bill. So you want to keep that in mind when you're thinking about purchasing a traditional home over a mobile home. Number 4, live in high cost of living area. Depending on where you live at, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Kansas, depending on where you live at, the cost of living is out of control. Especially if you talk about living in the metropolitan area, downtown, it can be extremely expensive for just a studio apartment. We're talking about rent. And then when you're talking about owning or trying to own a traditional home in such an area like that, zoning in those areas does not allow for mobile homes. However, you can go surrounding areas 30 minutes from Austin, Texas, and Del Valley, Texas, which is right outside the airport. You can find inexpensive mobile homes that are in a beautiful community, and the cost of living is slightly a lot cheaper than Austin. You still get the scenery, you still get to be in and out. However, the traffic is still bad. You can't escape that. However, you can find a place that is affordable. Number 5, it is a perfect transition home. If you buy your own property and want to build a house on the land, where are you going to live during construction? If you don't already own a home, you're going to have to pay rent for a place to stay. Another option is to place a mobile home on the property and live there. This saves you in rent money and protects your new construction, since these sites tend to have theft and other crimes occur there. It is also a benefit if there are construction delays, which are more common than you think. If you are renting and your lease ends but your new home isn't completed yet, you're going to have to find another temporary housing solution. With a manufactured home, you can stay until the home is complete. Very, very, very true. I don't think I need to say much. I did take that note because I didn't want to leave any information out. Number 6, lower taxes. Personal property taxes are a lot less than real property taxes. This can be a huge savings, especially if you live in an area where property taxes are high. Number 7, mobile homes have came a long way. This is not the 1960s, 50s, 40s, 30s where they called it trailer trash. Mobile homes are considered living quarters, shelters, home, house, dream home, whatever would have you. Mobile homes are a place of residence where people raise their families, become successful, and do great things. You can outfit your home with granite countertops, energy saving appliances, double bath vanities, and more. You can even customize the floor plan to exactly how you like it. If you need more room, you can easily add on, making it a double wide for a fraction of the cost it will cost you to add on to a stick built home. Not only would you not have to worry about the difficulties scheduling subcontractors, but the zoning requirements are going to be less of an issue as well. All of those are my pros for why you should live in a mobile home. And if you have weighed out those pros, really talk to your decision makers. Anybody who's that was going to be giving you some funds, coins, those are your decision makers. If they're not giving you any money, their opinion does not matter. While we have talked about the pros, we do have to talk about the cons, where I say cons doesn't really matter, because you're going to have cons where you live in a traditional home, whether you bought this car, that car, whether you live in an apartment. It's going to be cons for walking outside if it's too hot. But your pros have to be dear and near to your heart, such as property taxes. That's a huge one. Such as the cost of the home. That's huge. Cons. Let's get to it. Number one on our cons. Different. Sorry. Sometimes these braces are very hard to talk with. I'm sure you guys have already noticed that by now, but I will put my disclaimer out there. Number one on our con list, different types of financing. As mentioned before, mobile homes are personal property, so you aren't going to have the same opportunities or options for traditional mortgage loans for stick built homes. However, being that it's personal property, you can get a personal property loan for you to be able to purchase your mobile home. I know of several mobile home financiers that do finance mobile homes. However, we are not financial specialists and don't want to misadvise you, because that information is based off a variety of things such as credit, debt to income ratio, and so forth. So I don't want to discourage you with some information and then you look it up and then you see that you don't qualify because of your credit score, etc., etc. Best thing that we want to recommend for you to do is talk to your local banks, do some research on Google or YouTube University for you to be able to get the best advice for you in your situation. Number two on our con list is renting land. With mobile homes, if you don't have the land already, you will have to go to either a mobile home community, or you have some small investors that have lots for rent where that you can put your mobile home in their lot. Some of those are usually in neighborhoods, and then you have your average mobile home community that's full of mobile homes. So if you don't have land, the mobile home has to go somewhere, right? So you have to either go to the mobile home community or find somewhere to put it. This can be a con because you don't own the land under your mobile home. So what happens if the mobile home lot where your land is sitting on is sold from up under you? That leaves you having to move your mobile home again, which is not free. It does take a cost. However, with you not being in so deep with a traditional home, you can find a park that potentially is not closed. And there's ways to see before you put your home there when you're doing your application if the mobile home is closing or not. I hope I'm being clear. So you have a lot of different locations where your home can go, but you have to keep in mind that you don't own the land, so therefore anything can happen. So that is semi a con, but I wouldn't say that's a con because that allows you to save for your own land while you are renting that land. So just keeping that in mind, that if you do rent a lot, you want to make sure that it comes with utilities. You want to make sure that if it's snow plow isn't covered, what all is covered in your lot rent, whether it's water. You want to know what you are paying for. because if you don't pay for the lot, they can come after your mobile home because it is on their property. So be sure that you follow all the terms and conditions, have your bills paid up, taxes paid up, because it can get tricky if your home is in the park and you don't stay up to date with all of your paperwork, your monies, and certain things like that. Number 5 on our list, I believe it's number 5, correct me if I'm wrong. Mobile homes do depreciate in value. While stick built homes appreciate in value, manufactured homes tend to depreciate in value. This is because they are personal property, so just like over time, your new car loses value, so too will your mobile home. This drawback is significant as many people use the equity they build in their homes to help them fund their retirement. With the mobile home, you do not have this option. The good news is they don't appreciate quickly, only a certain percentage a year that it will go down. So if you bought a home in 1990 and here we are 2024, then you have lost a lot of value. Now, I know that this is on topic, a little off topic. You have mobile homes, then you have manufacturers, then you have cross mods, then you have modulars. As you go up to cross mods and modulars, they do appreciate in value. Final thoughts. Those are the biggest pros and cons that we have thought about and was thought. Ooh. Final thoughts. Those are the biggest pros and cons that we felt like it was important to relay to you guys so that way you can make better, greater informed decisions on what your housing goals look like, what's more realistic, and what fits your financing. What you want versus what your finances say that you should have is two different stories. And you want to make sure that you meet in the middle. That way you can still have cushion for upkeep, moving costs, etc., etc. Because remember, no matter where you buy your home from, whether if it's straight off the lot or a pre-owned home, moving and setup is separate from the price of your home. So you have to keep in mind that you have to pay for setup and moving. I do also want to throw out there that Francis Comfort Mobile Homes LLC does purchase pre-owned homes nationwide, and we do offer a referral fee if you refer one of your loved ones to us, and we do close on their property. So you can relate them to us and we will get the job done. 1-877-313-9133. I am your host, Kaylee, checking out, and I'll see you next time. See you guys.